What's up, guys? Toby, Cartel Reef Supply. Just a quick introduction. We're going to talk today about, while I'm doing this little introduction, still you're looking at me. We'll look at some of the fish as I do the introduction. We're going to talk today about Berghia Nudibranch. They're the aptasia eating nudibranchs, and man, these anthias, I love these anthias. Anyway, Berghia Nudibranch. We're going to talk about just how I'm farming them. It doesn't mean it's the right way, the only way. We're going to talk about other ones real quick. Monopora eating nudibranchs, as well as zoanthid eating nudibranchs. So there's all kinds, and you need to differentiate between the two. And we're going to go over that. I'll show you real quick the little farm. This is my coral room. What we'll do, let's do a filter just see if it helps. And behind it, these are our little corals. Bam, bam, bam. Love them. Copepods. This is my aptasia tank. So, oh Lord, let me take that off. This is my aptasia tank. As you can see, I'm farming aptasia. Got this from a breakdown. Some good friends called and said, hey, this guy's covered with aptasia. And I'm like, I need it, I want it, because you'll be surprised how much these little fellas can eat. And this is my little, I think it's like a 5-gallon tank, I think. So I'll put pieces of rubble into here, get aptasia to attach, and then add it to the system in here. And that way, they got them. I do not have my glasses on right this minute, or I will show you some of them. But anyway, this is our little introduction, and let's get into what I know and what I think you need to know, because I believe they are the #1 thing to get rid of aptasia. I just believe that are a very good copper band. But if you don't have what you need as far as a copper band already, you know, getting one to eat can be a pain, and just keeping them alive can be a pain at times. So let's get into it, and I'll give you the little information that I got, and you add on if you think you've got some more information. I'd like to give you more. We're keeping our farm tank at a regular 1025. There's a small tank, so there's a lot of topping off on it. You might want to add auto top off to that, but that's pretty much it. So let's talk about it. We'll piece this little video together. Let's do it. So for starters, just little things you may need if you're wanting to try and farm them yourself. This is just a little, I don't even know if it's a 5 or a 10-gallon little tank. Got a little hang on the back, little sponge filter. This rock is just in there to feed them, because I did just look up and grab this from a tear down. It's got some mushrooms, some leathers. I'll probably get them leathers out of there, but a bunch of aptasia. So what I'm doing is adding in little small pieces of rock and rubble that I can take out once aptasia gets on them, to be able to feed the nudies. Now, what I know I have in here right now is probably about 8 to 10. And the biggest thing is being able to keep them fed, because you will not believe how much they eat. And also, some things you want to be aware of too, to look out for, is other types of nudibranchs that are not aptasia eating. So let's get into some facts on them. I just want to show y'all how I farm them. This is a 55, but I need a lot of aptasia to feed these little guys. Like I said, there's probably 10 in here right now, and I do have some in my refugium down there. But anyway, let's go over what you're gonna need. But that's pretty much it right there. We're gonna keep aptasia for them. Keep them happy. You keep them happy, they're going to breed, they're going to lay eggs. I've got some eggs in here, but I really don't want to disturb it right now, and we may do another one later on. So one thing I'll note is that after they eat, they will seem to group up and start breeding. I don't know if that just makes them happier or what, and you'll see their color. When they're solid white and they're out and about, they're hungry, they're looking, they haven't eaten. Once they've been eating aptasia, you'll see the color here that they get. And it really changes their appearance pretty well. So, alright, let's go over some facts about them, guys. So if you think you have a Berghia, make sure that number one, it's near aptasia. This is the bottom side of it because it's against the glass. I don't know if you can see, but there's a bunch of them right there piled up together. So I'm expecting there'll be more spiraled eggs right there. That's another way to tell if you have Berghias, if you have another pest of, like a zoa eating nudibranch or whatever. The Berghia Nudibranchs will have like spirals. You'll see little spirals on the glass or on the rock. That is what they're doing when they're breeding, mating, whatever you want to call it, in their eggs. Be a little spiral area, usually the size of your pinky or something like that. Bright white though, you'll see them, can't miss them. And if you wonder if they hatch, they sort of go clearish, more clearish looking once they've done that. Again, they are nocturnal, so if you add them to your tank, you're just not going to see them out all the time. They may pop out in the daytime, but also if you're planning on getting some, look at the livestock that you have. If you have a really good wrasse, 6 lines, there's so many wrasses, carpenter wrasses, mystery wrasses, they're going to probably find them. So you want to introduce them at night while the fish are doing their thing asleep. Try to get them in the rocks, and that way they have a chance. Once they're happy, they're going to get to work. Now you may need, if you've got a big aptasia outbreak, you may need more than 1 or 2 Berghia to combat your problem, and you're not going to see results right away. So think about that. If you're only putting 2 Berghia into a 100-gallon system and you're pretty covered up with aptasia, you're not going to see the results right away. You're going to have to up the amount, or buy more or farm them yourself. Like I said, I took a little 5 or 10-gallon tank, but make sure first that you have plenty of aptasia, because they eat. Now when you're putting in 4 or 5 aptasia at a time, they knock them out pretty quick. So if you think 4 or 5 is going to be enough, no, they'll knock that out overnight. I've got 8 or 10 that stay in that system there, probably more now. I think some eggs have hatched, but you've got to keep aptasia in there, and you've got to keep agitating your aptasia to try and push out what we call spores, basically new seedlings for aptasia, and that'll be for your babies that are hatching to eat on as well. They won't go after the big aptasia. The small ones won't. Your big ones will tag team. So if you just put 1 in there, you can't expect it to do everything. You're going to need a couple of them to tackle some of the really big aptasia, and they attack it from the stalk, from the bottom of it. I'm going to flip you around here. Big aptasia. So some of these really big aptasia, it may take 2 or 3 right there to jump on that aptasia. You can see the stalk of it. That's where they're going to attack it from, right there. They're going to get the base of it, and they're going to eat it from the bottom back. So the more of them, the better. They will gang up on it, and that just makes it easier for them, I guess. But that's how they're going to attack it, from the bottom of the stalk, I guess you'd call it, and start tearing that thing down. They tear it down pretty quick. So if you're going to get them, I think they're the best route to go. Copper bands are great, but again, it's a copper band. Getting them to eat, getting them to stay healthy and survive. I've been really lucky. My copper band has done well. Peppermint shrimp, again, I'm not a fan of, because I have seen peppermints eat zoanthids and other corals. And there are different types of peppermints. There's only 2 or 3 of the that are supposed to eat aptasia. The problem is, once they're done with aptasia, what are they going to go to next? Could be your corals, could be your whatever, you know. So you want to be careful with that. That's why I like the Berghia, and that's why we are trying to keep them stocked up and breeding. It's slow going at times, and at times they pump them out, but growing them is a little bit bigger. Their lifespan is not that long, about a year. So some more, some a little less. So just keep that in mind. So you don't want to go automatically buy the biggest Berghias, because they're probably about to the end of their life cycle. So start looking for some of the smaller aptasia eating Berghias, and I think you'll get more time out of them. And of course, everybody wants that. And once they're set up in your tank and going good, they will breed on their own as well. So look for Berghia. Your local fish stores may have them. Of course, we have them here at Cartel Reef Supply in Anderson, South Carolina. But they are expensive. We're running them for $20. Some places get more, some places might get less. But Berghia Nudibranch, if you have an aptasia outbreak that is hurting your corals or stinging your corals, irritating your corals, or just for the look of it, if your display doesn't look as good as you want it to look because of aptasia, let me put you a filter on here. If your display doesn't look as good as you want it to be, it's just a frag tank, not a home tank or anything, but if it's not looking as good as you want it to be, and you've got the unsightly aptasia going on, let's work on it. And they will irritate and sting some corals, but a torch got this one, so I had to get him moved, and all that good stuff. I'm about to close them up when I do this, but clams, sticks. Well, I'm just getting you all lights, ain't I? Some gonnies, some albies, and of course your encrusting monties. Always dip your corals, guys, especially your monopora and zoas. If you're getting anything in that you do not know if it's been aquacultured or if it's wild or whatever, dip them, because once you get these pests in your system, sorry about that, once you get these pests, they're in there, and it is a pain, because you're going to have to dip while you're going to take your corals out, dip them, then you're going to have to do it in a couple more days, because even though it may kill the pest nudibranch, it will not kill the eggs. So when you first get corals in, especially if you do not know if it's aquacultured or if they're wild, especially dip, and get rid of those pests before you introduce these corals to your tank. So if you have any questions, call Cartel Reef Supply. We'll be glad to help you out and answer them any way we can. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you watching. I'm sure I forgot a whole lot of stuff about the Berghia, but part of it. So if you got any questions, let us know. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day and happy reefing. Alright guys, sitting out here in the South Carolina heat at the store. You probably can't see it for the glare, but anyway, one thing I wanted to add too is Berghia Nudibranch. If they don't have anything to eat, any aptasia for 4 or 5 days, they're going to die. They're going to starve, and they will go away. They will just die on you. So either once they start getting your aptasia beat down, start looking to either move it on to someone else, take it back to your local fish store for store credit or a trade or something, but be ready to move that thing, because they will starve to death if they don't have enough to eat. Now if you have a very big outbreak, again, that could be a while. You know, it could take them the length of their life cycle to even knock all of it out if you have a really bad aptasia problem. But if you just have some, they're great. They'll knock it out. They'll do what they got to do. So put them in there, take care of them, and have a plan to move them if you can get them out. You know, I take a pipette and just get over them, suck them up in there, put them into a specimen cup or a little coral cup, is how I catch them. So, and a lot of times that's best at night because they are nocturnal. They will come out during the day at times, especially in here, not having any predators in there with them, but most of the time they're nocturnal. So again, appreciate you being here, appreciate you watching. Hit that like and subscribe, and we'll get some more content out to you. Happy reefing. Let's make some beautiful, beautiful coral tanks. We'll see you.